My wife and I stayed up to watch the sunrise. And I remember I told her that by next year, we're going to be celebrating New Year's in a different country. Now, I didn't know where we were going to go, but I had that strong belief, that same feeling that something is going to happen that I want it to happen. And I think that's what really started that domino effect of things that happened in my life. That's the power of our subconscious mind. Anything that we say, anything that we feel, anything that we believe, anything that we see becomes our reality. Welcome to Present Potential. I'm your host, Hassan, and the reason I launched this podcast is to create a ripple effect of optimism that reaches 1 billion people in the next decade. Ambitious? Very. Scary? A little bit. The aim of Present Potential is to empower listeners by sharing stories of individuals who've turned challenges into opportunities, proving that we all have untapped potential. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. If you've tuned in before, thank you for your support, and I hope you find value in these conversations. Welcome to another episode of Present Potential. I'm your host, Hassan, and I'm so grateful and glad that you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about the power of creating the life that you want. Before I came to Cyprus, I used to come visit the island regularly. If you don't know me, you might not know that my wife is originally from Cyprus, and that's one of the reasons that we live here. But that's not the reason why we came to live in Cyprus. I think it was in 2014 or 2015 when we came to visit, and we were driving down the highway. This was around the summer period, so we just left the beach, driving down the highway, and I opened the window. I just felt so at peace. I loved the air coming in. I loved the smell of the place. I loved the ease of the environment and everything that we were doing. And I loved just packing everything that is messy and throwing it in the back of the car and driving home. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I were to live here? Now, this is not the first time that I had this thought, because anywhere I used to travel, I used to always ask myself whether I want to live in that country or not. In Italy, Switzerland, Thailand, any place really that I used to go, I would imagine myself if I were to live there. But there was something different, completely different about that sensation when I felt that. And I think that's what really started that domino effect of things that happened in my life. After that, I started exploring different opportunities and also wanting to relocate. There was a role that opened in one of the big four consultancy firms in Cyprus. And this is the first time that this role was advertised. It's the first time that this service was provided by this consultancy firm. And it was a growing and new department. It was never there before. I applied, and one thing led to another. And eventually I came to live in Cyprus. Now, what I didn't tell you was that ever since that time that I was in the car driving in the highway with the wind coming in because the window was open, I've always wanted to live here. And what I didn't also tell you was I felt it, and I've kept thinking about it. The new year before we moved to Cyprus, my wife and I stayed up to watch the sunrise. And I remember I told her that by next year, we're going to be celebrating New Year's in a different country. Now, I didn't know where we were going to go, but I had that strong belief, that same feeling that something is going to happen that I want it to happen. And that's all I did. I just had that feeling. A month or two later, there was a job opening in the same place that I explained. I applied and I got the job. And then we moved. And I've been living here since then. Now, I've changed jobs as well, but I'm still here. And it really hit me this morning when I was reflecting, because asking myself, am I still happy here? Do I want to stay here? And the answer was yes. And it brought me back to that experience when I first, similar feeling driving down that highway, that I wanted to be here. And I looked around and I loved the place that I am at. The streets, the people, the environment, the country, everything. And I felt so blessed and grateful that I am here. And it got me thinking about the power of creating the life that we want. There's so many instances in my life that I can actually see this. When I did a blood test, in my mind, in my subconscious mind, I knew that I was going to have more tests done because the doctors will find something. Guess what? The doctors did ask me to do more tests because I dreamed it. I expected it. Now, why am I sharing all of this with you? The reason is really simple, because whatever we believe and whatever we feel and whatever we say actually becomes our realities. That's the power of our subconscious mind. Anything that we say, anything that we feel, anything that we believe, anything that we see becomes our reality. So why not create the reality that we want by doing those things? There's, I would say, research done around this and the power of the subconscious mind, and science is not really able to explain how some things work. Now, I'm not discounting medical achievements or medicine or anything, but how is it that sometimes people who are diagnosed with terminal diseases recover and survive like a miracle? Maybe it's an off chance. Maybe it's a small chance that this happens, but it still happens. What's the reason for that? And that's what I've been reflecting upon. The things that we say, the things that we feel, the things that we believe actually become the life that we are living. Now, whether we expect something to happen and we see it that it happens, that becomes ingrained in our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind doesn't sleep. So when we go to sleep and our subconscious mind is still awake, it's reprogramming and calibrating with everything around us to bring us the things that we have been repeating to ourselves. Those inner thoughts, the inner dialogues, the conversations, the feelings, the beliefs that we have, they are reprogrammed all the time, whether we're awake or asleep, because that's how the subconscious mind works. Wouldn't it be amazing if we can tap into that and reprogram it so that it can create the things that we want? It's possible. And this is the proof that I'm sharing with you about the experiences that I've went through. There's a lot of other experiences that I could share, but I'm sure that you hearing this might have also noticed in your own life something similar that happens. And if we truly believe something is already here, it already exists, the universe just makes it happen somehow. I don't know how, but that's the beauty. I believe that anything that we say, anything that I tell myself, and the things that I believe, I feel them, they actually happen. I've had it with health scares. I've had it with jobs. I've had it with friends. I've had it with opportunities, with travel. I've had it with any experience that I put my mind to. And this is the point of sharing this short podcast with you, is that you are so much more powerful than you can possibly imagine. It's the words that we use that define us. I'll share with you a really quick sequence of events of how the subconscious and conscious mind connect or interconnect. Let's say that there is a thought that happens. We create these thoughts. That's within our subconscious mind. That thought then goes to become a belief. And that belief then translates into a feeling. That feeling becomes an attitude. That attitude becomes an action, and that action becomes a result. That is more or less the sequence of how our thoughts can transpire into reality. That comes from our subconscious mind. So, for example, if we're walking, we don't need to think about taking those footsteps. Our subconscious mind is already programmed to create the walking footsteps for us. How can we switch it, though, so that we can reprogram our subconscious mind? The trick is to look at it from the other way. Believe that you already have the result. So instead of starting from the thought or the subconscious mind where we're creating it, start with the result. Start that knowing that the result is there. And the way that we can start with the result is by seeing it, by saying it to ourselves, by repeating it. That result then transforms to action. That action then goes back to our attitude, how we feel, and the beliefs that we have. And behind the beliefs, it's the subconscious mind. It's that thought. It's that way that we create it. And we're able to do this. It's like a sequence from one side to the next. And it's so possible to do that. So I'd like to thank you for tuning into this very short podcast, because I just wanted to share with you this reflection that I had in the morning. Start seeing these patterns. Notice what happens as you start shifting the way that you speak, the way that you act, the way that we behave. Shifting those small things creates the big changes that we want to see in our lives. And that's the thing that I want to leave you with. Believe that you have what you want and see how the world will reward you with it. Actually, let me share with you one more story. This morning, my youngest daughter woke up and said that she wanted to have croissant for breakfast. She's almost 4, and she didn't stop repeating croissant for 30 minutes. Now, as any parent, we might start feeling frustrated or annoyed with her repetition, but she kept repeating it with a smile that she wants croissant. That's what she wanted. She's asking the universe for croissant. Now, guess what happened? Yes, someone came and delivered croissants to our house. Okay, no, that didn't happen. That was a joke. Nobody came to deliver croissants to our house. But after she went to school, I went to the groceries, and on the way back, I remembered her continuous asking for croissants, and I passed by the bakery to buy her croissants. So when she's home, she's going to have the croissants. Now, if she didn't say that, if she didn't continue to repeat it so it is ingrained within my mind, she was not going to have those croissants. It's funny how the universe works. This power of creating the life that we want to live, it's evident in everything that we do. So with that, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this shortened episode. I hope you found a little bit of value in this discussion. And as always, remember that today is the most important day of your life. Until next time. Thank you for watching and listening to Present Potential. If you found value in this episode, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. Join the conversation in the comments and let us know your biggest takeaway. If you'd like to listen to other inspiring stories, check out our other episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure to also follow us on Instagram under Present Potential Podcast, where you get to see behind the scenes and engage with us.